I'm Mr. Body Catcher, Slaughter Gang Soul Snatcher. Ain't no regular F-150.
Hey, D, I want you to take the time. I want you to sing to your queen like you never. Like you never.
Hey, listen here, G.
Yeah.
Hey, you hear me come out when I was grand ceremony now. Listen here. I can sing now.
Oh, I didn't know that. I want you to sing to it. Baby, please. Baby, baby, please. Baby, baby, please. Baby, please. Baby, baby, please. Baby, please. You know what I'm saying?
As you've reflected on some of the things that you said over the last few weeks about Ben Simmons wanting out of Philadelphia, where do you stand right now when it comes to him?
Listen, I said what I said, period, point blank. And I stand by what I said. And again, listen, I'm not a guy that was riding the bus. I was driving the bus. This is how I talk to all my players. And I care about Ben. I love Ben. And, you know, I don't know what type of people he got in his camp, but somebody need to keep it real with him. Work on your game. Work on a little 15-foot. Listen, everything else he does is really good. Great, elite defender, get to the hole, post up guard, all that stuff. But gonna have to work on that other stuff, brother.
So, with that being said, do you believe that the Philadelphia 76ers should move him? Or do you believe with 4 years left on his contract, the hell with what he feels, he should stay in Philadelphia, and that's the mentality the Sixers should have?
I don't believe he can handle that funk in Philadelphia. Philadelphia, Boston, LA, those hard working towns. Listen, the process is over. It might be good for his mentals to go somewhere to start. Because you know how it is in Philly. Like, they don't care about them 18 points. They care about, working hard, playing hard, getting better every year. He's been doing the same thing for the last 4 or 5 years. I think the process is over. So I think for his mentals, for the, Philly, the city of Philadelphia, their mentals, time to do something else. And he clearly said he didn't want to be there. So, but does anybody want him?
What do you mean, does anybody want him? I mean, I know he can't shoot. If he shoots 75% from the free throw line, he could average 25 a game. And he's clearly one of the elite defenders in the game.
I'm asking you, does anybody want him? I'm not making a statement. I'm asking you because you're, more into this stuff than I am because I'm still on vacation, brother.
Let me transition. Yesterday, I had Carmelo Anthony on First Take. Obviously, he's got his new memoir out. He's got a new book out. Congrats to him. But we were talking about the Lakers and how old they were. And he was like, we built for the playoffs. We'll be ready. We're incredibly confident with what we bring to the table. And it's championship or bust for us. That's how it has to be. Is it championship or bust for the Los Angeles Lakers this upcoming season?
The great Carmelo Anthony was absolutely correct. I have no rebuttal. I have nothing to say. He's absolutely correct. A lot of people always talk about age, but when you show me a young team that's dominated, listen, young teams always make noise, but when they get to the playoffs, what do you always say? Oh, they don't have enough experience. When it comes to the most experience, the Brooklyn Nets and the Lakers have the most experience when it comes to age. I'm not worried about all that young talk. Listen, the game is different now anyway. Everybody's just picking and popping anyway, so whoever plays the hardest is the team that's going to make it. If both teams stay healthy, I would like to see those teams in the finals. But I like Carmelo. He was raised by us. Westbrook was raised by us. LeBron was raised by us. So when they get angry, they play very well. So now they're angry. Everybody's doubting them. They built this little super team. Carmelo Anthony is correct. It's championship or bust.
Well, with Klay Thompson coming back, the Warriors are not young spring chickens. They've got some championship experience. Kawhi Leonard's a champion. He's in L.A. with the Clippers with Paul George and those boys. What about them?
Don't bring up the Clippers. Do not do that. Do not do that.
Why not?
No, sir. What you mean why not? Don't do it. Don't do it.
Why can't I bring up the Clippers?
Golden State, yes, you can bring them up. My favorite player, Steph Curry. Klay is coming back. My main man, Draymond. The young fella, they got some interesting pieces. The way they play, the way they move the ball, that fast-paced game, if they can get it rolling like they used to get it rolling, they're definitely going to be a problem. Listen, don't talk about teams that ain't make it yet.
Okay, fair enough. That's why you told me don't mention the Clippers. Let me transition to the Eastern Conference. Do you see anybody standing in the way of the Brooklyn Nets getting to the NBA Finals this year? Anybody?
Of course.
Who?
The champion. Come on, man. The Milwaukee. Let me tell you something. Don't disrespect the champ because, all these teams got all these big-name players. Get a champion's due. He did it the right way. He did it the respectful way. I'm going to give that man all the respect until they beat him. The new Superman is going to be a problem in the East, period. I said it.
Well,
Philly's... Hey, hold on. In the words of my boy Big Perk, carry the hell on.
Listen, you got Milwaukee. Miami acquired Kyle Lowry and P.J. Tucker from Milwaukee. They got P.J. Tucker from Milwaukee, okay? So they're joining Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo and those boys. Miami is a threat. Philly is still there. The Atlanta Hawks were in the conference finals. You don't give it. What about those guys?
Those guys will make noise, especially Miami. The culture that Pat Riley set 10, 15 years ago. Eric Spoelstra is still one of the most elite coaches in the league. They're going to make some noise if healthy. But I'm not going to disrespect the champ. I like Milwaukee. I like Brooklyn. Those two are going to battle it out again. 6-7 game series, and may the best team win. Again, in a perfect situation, myself, including with you, and Miss Molly. Hello, Miss Molly. How are you?
Hey, how we doing?
Good. We probably would like to see the Brooklyn Nets versus the LA Lakers in the finals.
Mm. And who's the number one threat to the Lakers in the West?
Utah.
Yeah,
you heard us.
Utah with Donovan. They got Donovan Mitchell. What else?
Oh, hey, I'm going to be so hard on Rudy this year. Rudy coming with a vengeance.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, Rudy coming this year.
Okay. Before I let you go, man, listen, Shaq and the Fool. We know how hilarious that is, Shaq and the Fool. I want to know who's your top candidate to win the MVP for the Shaq and the Fool award this year. Who's the number one guy on your list? Who's that dude?
Is Otto Porter still in the league?
I don't even know. Now, that might have been the funniest of all time when he stood there frozen on the wing as a guy he was defending ran all the way on the opposite end of the court. Now, your name is Carmelo Anthony. Everybody knows you as Melo. And if for those who do know you, you truly can be very, very mellow. Nothing's ever too high. Nothing's ever too low. You seem as even keel as most people are not. Is that who you truly are, or is that just a facade that you put forth to get you through some of the tough times that you're going to allude to in this memoir?
Yeah, well, it's not a facade. It is, that's who I am at my core. Right. I think my upbringing and what I had to deal with in different experiences that I had to, go through, it made me get to that point where I'm super mellowed out and just, relax and just, I would say at peace. It's a peace. You know, that's a great feeling to have. Some people call it, you know, too mellow, but I say stay mellow at the end of the day. So I had to get to this point. It took a lot of work, you know, for me to get to this point where, you know, like you said, I'm just at even kill.
When do you believe you got to that point where you were even keel, where you were mellow, where you just embraced life as what it is, not too high, not too low, and something that you would just power your way through? When do you believe you got to that point?
I would say over the past couple years,
Mm.
and you know, I had to really, you know, experience being out the league and kind of just hitting, you know, rock bottom, you know, so to say, in personal life, professional life. And I had to experience that. So I had to crawl my way out of that. I had to dig my way out of that darkness. So seeing that and being a part of that and experiencing that, it seeing the other side of that where I'm at now, I'm definitely at peace, you know, knowing what I had to go through and what I experienced.
When you went through it, you talk about the 2018-2019 season, 10 games in, the Houston Rockets decide to let you go. You're talking about having questions as to whether or not you were ever going to be in this league again. Did you have questions at any point as to whether or not you belonged in the league? I didn't, but and a whole bunch of your contemporaries certainly didn't have those questions about you. But did you have those questions about yourself at that particular moment in time?
Nah, I never doubted that. Uh, I never thought about should I be in this league or do I still belong in this league. I had to really kind of do the knowledge on the business of the league and the business of basketball and sports and, you know, people, and just kind of taking it into another perspective you know, than I had before. Before it was just playing basketball and, you know, doing what I do and, you know, being the face of, you know, multiple organizations. You didn't really think too much about anything. So, but now I got a newfound perspective on just the way that the game is supposed to be played, the business of the game, and just what I want out of it. You know, I think I took back control of my own self and my own game and my own career to a point where I can have a different perspective now and a new outlook on things.
How helpful were some people along the way? And by that, I mean, I'm thinking about a guy like a Russell Westbrook that you played with in Oklahoma City, and people keep sleeping on the kind of businessman that he is and some of the big things he's doing off the basketball court as well. You've played with guys like him. Obviously, you've been friends with LeBron James, D. Wade, Chris Paul. You've been in Portland with a guy like Damian Lillard, who's been doing big things throughout his career. How helpful were those individuals in helping you reach that point?
Well, it was good, but you know, I respect all of those guys for what they bring, you know, and not just on the court, but off the court as well, and what they're into, what they're creating. But for me, I had to carve out my own lane, and I've always felt like that. Even since I was younger, I had to carve my own lane and figure out who I was and what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it, and doing it my way. I think now, kind of just having that experience and, you know, being business minded now and seeing things from a different perspective, that's where I'm at. You know, so because I had to do it, because I had to put the work in and do the work and talk to people and you know, be comfortable with being uncomfortable and vulnerable, that's when I started to really discover who really and truly I am.
Let me transition to the basketball court because now you are a member of the Los Angeles Lakers. You've been back in the league for a couple of years, clearly reminding everybody of what the hell you can do on the basketball court. So there's no question about that now. Now you've gone from wondering whether you was going to be in the league to being back into the league to getting to the postseason to now being on a championship squad with championship expectations. That's the one thing that's eluded you in your entire illustrious career is a trip to the finals and obviously a championship. How are you feeling about being a member of the Los Angeles Lakers, even with everybody saying that y'all are the oldest team in the league, because y'all are?
Well, I mean, that's a fact. Ain't nobody saying nothing that's not a fact. We old as hell, Steve. You know that in basketball sense. But I just think that what we all bring to the table is a wisdom that a lot of people don't have. Like the way that we're going to be able to come together, hold each other accountable, have each other backs. You know, we have the most knowledge on this one team than the whole NBA have. I think. So if we can't put that together and make something work, then that's on us. That's not on nobody else. And that's something that, you know, that I'm looking forward to. We all talk about it. We all discussed it. We know what's at stake. We're gonna have fun with this journey. We're gonna enjoy this journey. We're gonna embrace it. And I'm excited to do it, man, because before, if I was just to walk away from the game before, then I'd have been at peace with that. I'd have been cool with that, knowing that, you know, I tried to win a championship. It just don't work out for everybody. But now that perspective is totally different. Now I have to win. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So I know what that does. I know the pressure that put on us as a team, as an organization. But what other pressure did you want? What other pressure we want? We want to go out there. We want to target on our back.
Is that your way of saying this championship a bust for this Lakers team this year?
It gotta be. I mean, it have to be. Like there's no playing around with that.
Now, you do know that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are in the same city, in the same arena for the Clippers. And on this side of town that you're very, very familiar with, Brooklyn, New York, there's KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. Some people will look at them and they say, that's what's standing in your way from winning the chip. To that, you say what?
Maybe it is. I mean, I can't take nothing away from what Brooklyn has built and what the Clippers has built, and what, you know, you can't take away what Milwaukee has done either. You know, so everybody's getting better. Nobody's saying it's going to be easy, but this might be one of the most exciting seasons of the NBA in a long time. A lot of the teams have gotten better. They added pieces to their core group of guys. But I'm speaking on us. I only can speak on what we got to do and what we